Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed.
Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going.
It's Tuesday.
Hi, everyone. We're so glad you're here.
Welcome back to CK and GK. If this is your first time, welcome to the show. If you are returning, we're so glad that you're coming back. We were on a break, but it was just a break.
We were on a break.
All right. So with me today, as always, is Caitlin. The question of the hour is, what do the Dread Pirate Roberts, a raccoon, and the Lone Ranger all have in common? They are all giving Caitlin a run for her money in the most time spent in a mask contest.
What? Oh!
Because Caitlin is isolating at home and living in a mask.
I am still wearing my mask. I'm over it. I'm really tired of wearing my mask in my own house, but I'm still wearing it because my family is still testing negative and I want to keep it that way. So mask it is. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. And, you know, my poor husband, who is also still testing positive, is living by himself while Kit and I stay at my parents' house.
I mean, at least he doesn't have to mask, I guess, right? Or maybe he is. I don't know if he's
If
trying
he
to
leaves
prevent
his room, he has to.
He does. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we don't want to have to sanitize the entire house.
I'm going to be like spraying all of the air conditioning vents with Lysol.
Oh, yeah. No, he's already doing that.
Yeah.
But we don't want to have to scrub every single thing that he could have breathed on.
Yeah, it's awful.
The way we're going to do the bedroom and like wounds and all of that.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible. Well, I have with me Jenny, and it's a three-way tie between her, Ernie from Sesame Street, and Lisa Simpson from my favorite saxophonist.
Lisa and I both can rock the tube dress. So
Right? I mean, and pearls, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're both wearing fakes.
Eyelashes for days on both of you.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let's get started. We have a fun episode today. And before we do that, we want to get to a couple of shout outs. A while back, you and I did a fundraiser for urban teachers.
Right. During Teacher Appreciation Week. This is the organization that helped fund training for teachers that are going to work in intercity areas.
Absolutely. So we wanted to give a quick shout out to Sherri Adams. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. And we were happy to fundraise for urban teachers and are so glad that our contributions were helpful. So absolutely there. A quick shout out to Kaleb, who gave us a really nice tweet and recommended us to his friends and followers. And also the Ever Trending Story podcast, which did the same and just tweeted out a really nice review that was heartfelt and kind, and
they called us an easy listen.
They did, and they were,
which is a compliment. Not if they had said it's like easy listening. That would be an insult.
No, that would be upsetting. That's like the middle-aged mom's comment. Like, no, don't use that. But no, they said we were an easy listen and that we were heartfelt and fun. And so thank you so much to the Ever Trending Story podcast. We really appreciate you.
All right. Well, it's time for us to update you on the world of sports. Today is July the 19th, and it is MLB All-Star Game.
Yay!
So if you've listened to our episodes about baseball, you know that some people love the All-Star Game and some people don't. But tonight, at 7 Eastern, you are going to be able to see the fan favorites, because the way that players are put on the All-Star team is by fan votes in the months of June and July. So if you want to vote next summer, just keep your eyes on MLB.com around the beginning of June, and you'll have a chance to actually vote for your favorite players. The roster is not out at the time of this recording, because I lied to you. It's not actually July 19th. So I cannot tell you who is playing, but I can tell you that it is at Dodger Stadium. That's the one in LA. And it is the Dodgers' 4th time in franchise history to host it, the 3rd time in LA. So tonight you can watch the All-Star game. And if you want to watch the home run derby, it's actually last night. So too bad.
Yeah. So you missed it. You're late. Okay, so this information is going to be a week old now, but you didn't come to us for brand spanking new information all the time. So I'm going to talk about Wimbledon because the day of this recording was the day of the semifinal between Novak Djokovic and Cameron Norrie. So
Wimbledon, that's like tennis.
Yeah, Wimbledon is tennis. Yeah.
All I know about Wimbledon is strawberries and whipped cream. So
Explain
that's what they eat there. That's what they eat there.
Oh.
At Wimbledon, it's traditional to eat strawberries and cream.
So there's actually I'm kind of annoyed with Wimbledon. Wimbledon is one of the places where there's dress code when you play. It's whites only in terms of what you wear on the court. Got to be careful about that. But it is whites only.
That is not a soundbite that you want to get out.
No, I think I'm going to keep that one. I think I'm not going to use them for soundbite. But you can only wear white clothing when you play at Wimbledon. And they're being called out for this yet again because what about women who are
not interested in wearing white during that week?
Right, during that 1 week of the month, or 28 days, or 45, or however if you are a person with a uterus and you continue to menstruate, you do not want to necessarily be wearing white while you're playing on the court. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But anyway, after the match today, yesterday was Taylor Fritz, who's the American, versus Rafael Nadal. Nadal won that match, which I also watched. But then he pulled out because he actually has an abdominal tear. It's like a 7 millimeter abdominal tear. And
7 millimeters?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a small number, but that is a big tear to rip your body.
Yeah, that's a big tear. And so he pulled out, just citing, it was painful to play. I shouldn't be playing anymore. So in place of that is going to be Nick Kyrgios, who's going to be going to the final now in place of Rafael Nadal. The person he's going up against is going to be Novak Djokovic. So that should be interesting. That's set for this coming Sunday. So, of course, I'll give you guys an update on that. And then on the women's side, we have someone named Ons Jabeur, and she is facing Elena Rybakina. I'm saying that so wrong, but we're going to try Elena Rybakina in the final for women, which is on Saturday. And the cool thing about this one is Jabeur is the first Arab and first African woman to appear in a Grand Slam final. So that's really, really exciting. Congratulations to them. And we'll know who the winners are by the end of this weekend. So we'll update you on that, if you care in the future.
That's great. Now it's time for your favorite part.
Yay!
Everybody's favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
These are our gems.
Mm-hmm.
Abigail and I are talking about some kids that she knows. And she says, oh my gosh, they just run around all the time. It's like if those torchy demons from the taco place came to life.
Wait.
Those of you who do not know about Torchy's Tacos, their mascot is like a tiny little flying devil.
It looks
and
sort
so
of
she
like
has said
the
these
ASU
kids are
devil
like
thing.
Torchy demons have come to life. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Torchy demons. That's what she...
Yes, if the Torchy demons came to life.
Oh man. Well, random things. My son also said something random this week. Every year for Independence Day celebrations, my family has a particular dessert. We always do angel food cake.
A flag cake.
No, we don't do that. We do an angel food cake with strawberries and blueberries with vanilla ice cream.
That's a flag cake. That's a flag cake.
Well, we don't make
blue.
Okay, fine, but we don't assemble it into a flag like you see some people do.
Oh,
we just dump it all into a bowl.
I do that.
Okay, extra.
Okay.
No, we just dump it into a bowl and call it good, right? So, for dessert that night, my husband, I was in quarantine. I was isolating. My child says to my husband, Yeah, I think I could have that for dessert, or maybe some M&Ms and a tortilla. I'm sorry,
What?
M&Ms.
What did he have for dinner? Bourbon?
Right. M&Ms and a tortilla. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
M&Ms in or and?
And like alongside. So he's going to like shove a tortilla
so
in
he's
his
not
mouth.
like trying to make an M&M. Yeah.
No, like an M&M
Wow.
quesadilla kind of thing. No, it wasn't like that. It was just like he's going to shove this one into his mouth and then he's also going to shove that into his mouth at the same time. And just I was just so grossed out, but I laughed as hard as I possibly could without coughing myself into oblivion from COVID.
Oh my gosh. You know what made me laugh so much? When we were in New York, we were doing high-low buffalo for the day. And this is a big thing in my family. High is the best part, low is the worst part. And your buffalo is something that surprises you. Like if you walked out and saw a buffalo, you would be surprised. And so we're going through the day and Abby goes, well, my high was going to ride the ferry. My low was that the ferry got stuck. And my buffalo was that it got stuck because somebody got murdered.
Oh.
Yes. True
Yes.
story. Welcome to New York. We had to wait on the ferry because they had to pull somebody's body out of the water.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like an episode of Law and Order. Like you just like walked into an episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, the whole time we're sitting there, even people on the boat are like, dun, 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 dun.
You're like looking for Mariska. Where is she? I know she's here.
Yeah, where is she?
Oh my goodness. How funny.
Elliot's back. Maybe it's him.
Oh, thank good. Well,
Yeah.
not that I've watched any of it, but that's a good. I could watch Elliot Stabler anytime.
You haven't watched the new one?
No, I haven't.
It's
I
so
haven't
good.
watched-
It's so good.
Is it good? Okay. I haven't watched any like.
It's good, but it's
recent
sad.
Law and Order. He's not with his wife anymore.
I can't talk to you about that.
Oh, okay. I know they were on the rocks when he was
Why
on
would
the
I-
show in the first place.
Why would I spoil something for you?
Because I probably won't watch it. Anyway, that was a current obsession of mine.
Okay,
for a
well,
long
why would
time.
I spoil it for our listeners?
Fair point. That was a current
The assumption is that we're recording the show for other people besides us.
sometimes I forget that. Sometimes, well, that's,
Yeah.
to be clear, that is how this show was born, right? It was like one day we had like
Right.
a 3-hour long phone call while we were each cleaning the house. And then we were like, we should make this into a show.
Well, and I was telling people during the height of quarantine in that, March, April 2020, we would just have our earbuds on all day, kind of like Jim and Pam in the office and
Yeah.
just talk.
And just be
It's
talking.
like, oh,
Yeah.
yep. Oh, I see kids crying again. Are you guys still watching Nemo? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Or, we would say like, okay, well, I got this kid's assignment. They did something for me. How about you? How'd that go for you? And we would be
Yes,
talking
yes,
about
yes.
that, yeah. Oh, Lord. Well, that is how the show came about. So congratulations. Now you know our origin story. Can I
and
tell
there
you
was a
mine?
toxic waste spill.
There was a toxic waste spill in New York?
No, I'm just saying if it's a
Oh.
origin story, there needs to be something that like makes us superhuman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think everyone has now seen how completely not superhuman I actually am, right? Like I'm just such a mess. Anyway, the reason that I have the COVID or that I picked it up, it's a travel souvenir.
The COVID.
It's a travel souvenir.
That's how we got ours too.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I went to New Orleans. I was there for 3.5 days. It wasn't long. It was like a weekend, mostly, but I was there for work and I was trying to do like my best to separate, like this is work stuff. This is fun time. And we did have some fun while we were there. And I just have to say that if you hit the right spots in New Orleans, you really can have the most amazing, relaxing fun. And so I really loved it. And there were a couple of times that we found some spots that were incredibly just chill and happy. And it was a really, really great experience. And then a couple
Did
of
you
times.
have good food?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We had great food while we were there.
Yeah, the food in New Orleans is so great.
Yeah, we did. And then everyone talks about Bourbon Street, and we did go to Bourbon Street. It wasn't that far from where we were staying, but where I had the most fun experiences was actually on Frenchman Street. So if you haven't been to New Orleans and you've heard about Bourbon Street, go to Frenchman Street also. Just have the experiences to go to both.
I like the also because so many people are like, oh, stay away. It's so touristy. And it's like, yeah, but I'm a tourist.
Right.
So I'm
there
it.
because I want to see, you know, all the stuff. So we did do that.
Yeah.
And there were at one point on Bourbon Street, there was a wedding coming down the street and they were dancing in the streets with parasols. And that part was really cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that made me happy. And then we went down to Frenchman Street later on. Well, not that same night. It was a different night. But we found there's like a little alley where you can go and see like local artists making their stuff. Kind of, some of them are doing it in front of you. Others are just, you know, selling what they've made. But I have to show you this because I got these two pieces of art. And I'm not sure if you can see them, but they're so cool. I have this one in orange.
Oh my gosh. It's like a
blue.
plank with a painting of a
It's
silhouette of a musician leaning up against a light pole, but you can see how the light penetrates all the way through the art. It's cool.
Yeah. And
She's going to put pictures of them on our socials.
Yeah, I'll put pictures of them on social because they're really, really pretty. And the artist's name is M. Sani. And I'll see if I can find him and link him on there too. But I was like, I need to have these things right now. So I was like carrying them around the rest of the night because I needed to have them right then. And then, of course, that night, like as we are on Frenchman Street and kind of just checking things out, we got to see some really cool, you know, local bands. But one of them was a marching band that had performed at the event that I was at. But this time they were in like their street clothes and they were just out on the street performing. And it was like a big dancing thing in the middle of the street. And my boss was dancing with some like locals and my other boss was dancing with some locals. And, you know, it was just all of us just standing around dancing in the street. And I don't think I'll ever forget that as long as I live. It was just so, so cool. So my current obsession to bring it all back home is just the vibe in New Orleans. It was just really, really wonderful.
That is cool. So I started my new job. Yeah. So I'm still teaching.
Yes.
But now I will be teaching both children and adults. And I am going to be teaching the adults about teaching math. Yay! It's so great. It's like a giant nerd fest. So our organization is working on, our organization is working on some training videos, and one of the girls was making a video by putting brown paper down on the table and working with a Sharpie and recording her work and narrating the math that she's doing on the paper. She showed it to me and I said, oh my gosh, have you ever watched Numberphile on YouTube? She was like, yes, that's what I was trying to do.
Oh my gosh.
So not only had she seen it, she was emulating it.
Oh, you have found your nerd people. You have found your nerd math
right?
people. This is so, so great. I love it.
It was amazing.
All right. Y'all know CK and GK love to support fellow indie podcasts. So here's another show you might really love.
Hey everybody, I'm Amber.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot. And we've brought you a show all about the occult.
We're talking different lores and mythology.
Yes, creature features, cryptids, aliens, you name it, we'll cover it.
Conspiracy theories.
Absolutely.
And pagan holidays and
100%.
practices.
All 8 of them. Yes.
Spiritual living, you name it.
That's right. We've got it for you. So if you want, come sit with us for a spell and let us make you laugh.
We are Witches Talking Tarot.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, so like Caitlin said, today's episode is all fun. We are going to teach you about us. How's that?
Yeah, there it is.
we have all played Never Have I Ever or 10 Fingers or any of those games. But today we are going to play a bingo version of it. It is Gen X bingo. So hopefully I win. If not, I still need to keep looking and find out what generation I'm in.
I do think that this is going to prove that we are for sure elder / geriatric millennials, because we're just like right in the middle. You know what I mean? Right there in between those two generations. Here's the thing. This was sent to me by our good friend Ariella. And I don't know where it came from, but the citation on the image is myfreebingocards.com. And it's Gen X bingo. So I have no idea like where this came from.
Caitlin, the wife of intellectual property attorney. She's like, I have to say some kind of citation.
I gotta cite it.
Clearly,
I was a historian, so I need to make sure that I'm citing where I get my information from. But that said, what I did was I just took the bingo card and I cut it up and I made it so that we're going to draw these out.
We made 2 separate bingo cards, so we shouldn't tie.
No.
Yeah.
No, we shouldn't. I don't think we're going to tie anyway, because after that we'll go on and we'll play blackout. But
no, but their cards are not the same.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Are you ready? Okay,
yes.
Draw this first one out. Okay, first one. Graduated from DARE.
Yes.
DARE program. So I remember
a drug is any non-food that affects the way your mind and body work.
So I remember distinctly a friend of mine like really wanting that rainbow DARE shirt. Like we all got the DARE shirt that had the red, but she really wanted the rainbow one. So she submitted the essay that you have to submit for your school, and she won it. So she wins the rainbow DARE shirt, and then
my gosh,
and then goes on to be like
what
one of our friends.
Brilliant scheme,
right? Well, and we're all in like 5th
you
grade.
have to write an essay to get this T-shirt,
right? And then the best part about this is that she becomes one of my friends who experimented far earlier than the rest of us, which just made my heart so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, it's full circle. What would those DARE officers say now?
Oh.
I don't even think that's a thing anymore, right? They don't do DARE
No,
anymore.
because a lot of studies said that it actually generated interest in drugs rather than the power to say no.
Oh my gosh, of course it did. Okay. All right, next one. Yes, died of dysentery.
Yep.
This makes me think of what the other name for the elder millennial generation is called. Have you heard of this? It's the Oregon Trail generation.
Okay, so let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I lived in the Portland, Oregon area when Oregon Trail was a thing. So we thought it was baller because it is about us.
It is not about
Caulk the wagons and float. That's the Columbia River, baby. I drove across it today.
Oh, I always tried to do that, and then I never made it across. All right.
Yes.
Next one. You wallpapered your bedroom with posters. Did you do it?
We talked about this one last
Got Milk
week or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
The Got Milk.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I had on my walls?
Who?
Fred Savage from the Wonder Years.
That's how I know you're definitely older than me, because mine was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No. And my best friend in 6th grade, shout out Michelle, loved JTT, and she like had a JTT movie birthday party, and it was like a big deal.
That's a big deal.
No, the Wonder Years, man.
See, I had a friend who was really into that movie Wild America, which is like the Marty Stauffer story, which is like the story of him and his 2 brothers and how they became like the show that was Wild America on PBS. Have you heard of this movie?
Oh, I have not heard of this movie.
Oh my gosh. It was Scott Bairstow, Devon Sawa, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, Devon Sawa.
I mean,
and JTT?
Yeah. And then Jamie Sheridan played the dad.
And Titanic sold more tickets?
This movie was, they find the Cave of 1,000 Bears. Anyway, I loved that movie. And for some reason, those Got Milk posters just always had like the most adorable poses.
The most beautiful people.
Yeah, for sure. This one. You still have anxiety from America's Most Wanted, Unsolved Mysteries, or Rescue 911.
Okay, you know that.
Yeah, I do know that. You have that. I
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries used to scare the ever-loving Jeebus out of me, for sure. For sure.
And maybe also, Are You Afraid of the Dark on Snick?
You know what else used to give me the most intense, like, heebie-jeebies was that book, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, with the creepy drawings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they've like redone or re-released that or something, but I loved all those stories. But I remember distinctly being weirded out and like having chills and stuff. Ugh. Yeah. And I always loved the ghost stories on Unsolved Mysteries, but I never remembered like I remember being afraid of like going to sleep at night because I was like, we watched way too much Unsolved Mysteries and I was like 7 and shouldn't have been watching it.
No, it's a different time.
All right, here's another one. Used collect calling to schedule pickups.
Okay, I have not done that, but I have a great story about this. When my dad was at basic training, he would call my mom. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the concept of collect calls, you would call a number and they would be able to put the fee on the receiving caller rather than the person making the call.
Right.
Because it used to be that there was this thing called long distance. And if you were calling someone with a different area code than you, it costs money.
Right. If you were at a payphone, you could use a collect call.
Correct.
To get around the payphone fee if you didn't have change.
So my dad would call, and there's a little place at the beginning where they ask you to record your name so that it would come through and it would say, "Do you accept the charges from Jenny?" Okay. And so my dad would call and it would be, "Do you accept the call from, I'm still doing great. I'll talk to you soon. Call you tomorrow. Bye."
Yep. Do you remember distinctly that there was a commercial? I remember this commercial so well, but there was a guy who does this and he's calling from the hospital. And instead of saying his name, he says, "We had a baby, eats a boy." And so that's the end of it. And it was a commercial. Yeah. I feel like someone's going to be like, "Yes, I remember."
Yes, totally did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you, as the receiver, would say, "No, I will not accept the charges." And then they hang up.
And then they hang up. Right. Because if you say no, they were required. Yeah. So I didn't use it to schedule pickups, so I can't give myself that one either. But I totally used collect calling for other stuff. All right. Here's one. 8 tan M&Ms.
Oh, yeah. I actually remember when M&M was deciding what color they were going to replace with tan. Yeah. And you, as a M&M eater, could vote. And it was blue, purple, or pink.
Was it pink? I didn't know.
It was blue, purple, or pink. And blue won.
I don't see how any other color, like how did purple even stand a chance? Or pink? Like how did it even, why was it even a thing?
Why are you that opinionated about it? Like, why would purple not stand a chance? Yellow made it.
Well, because it was like a rainbow, right?
With 2 browns?
I guess.
No, you're done. You're done. Stop. Purple did stand a chance.
No, it did not. Okay. 8 from paper products with abstract teal and purple squiggle art.
Oh my God, I have a story about this.
I don't have this one.
Okay.
I'm sure I did, but I can't remember.
Yes. If you close your eyes and you imagine a paper cup from a school party, it was white and then it had like a purple smear or a teal smear with like a purple line going through it. There's yes. Okay. So there's an actual name for this design. It's called Jazz. And there's this big fight over who invented it. There's 2 artists that claim owning it.
Oh my gosh. I don't even have any words for that. What do you even say? Like, actually, the crayon part is my idea.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it look like a crayon?
Yes. One of the artists said that she had charcoal on her desk and she smeared it in charcoal and then drew on it with pen and then scanned it in and colorized it on her computer.
All right. I mean, I'm sure it matters a lot to them.
Remember when I said that this episode was not going to teach you something? It did. Jazz.
I will probably forget that, but I'm going to hope that I don't. All right. You ready for another one?
Go for it.
Someone in your family collected Marlboro points.
Nope.
That didn't happen. My family doesn't have smokers in it. I'm sure that someone's like, yeah, for sure.
Do you know that Marlboros were first marketed to women? And they were having a hard time selling them. So they decided to invent the Marlboro Man, this cowboy, this ideal male. And then they started selling out.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Okay. This one we all did. I'm sure. You were kind and remembered to rewind.
Oh, yeah. Because if you didn't, you got a fee.
Yeah. Did you
have a rewinder?
Yes.
We did not.
it was a game changer, right? Because if you're doing movie marathon time, you just pull it right out of the VCR, pop it in the rewinder, and you put the next one right in. And by the time that thing is done, you're watching the next movie.
But can you believe that we spend $14.95 to buy something that only rewinds VHS tapes?
That shows you just how crucial they were to our development. I mean, that means it was a game changer. Okay, I have 4 of these already in a bingo row.
Oh, I do too.
Do you? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Wore a flannel shirt over a band tee.
I did that last week. And even
I don't
John
think that's
asked me.
ever going out of style.
Yeah, no, John was like, is this 9 Inch Nails Day at your job? Like, what are you doing?
Excuse me. Actually, it's Foo Fighters Day. Thank you very much.
So, thanks.
Yeah. But this was a big deal when I first moved to Colorado from San Francisco, because San Francisco, I think it's just like coastal cities in particular, just were more ahead of trends, right? So I was very much in the grunge like style by the time I moved.
Wow.
So when I got to Colorado and no one else was grunge, so I'm wearing like my Converse with my ripped jeans and my flannel over my t-shirt. Literally no one else is doing that. So I'm like automatically the weird kid because I look like, I guess, punk rock as punk rock as a kid with like a snaggletooth and red hair and bangs can possibly look. And I mean, it was an awkward time.
Well, and you know, Denver is like a fashion mecca.
Oh, obviously. But I'm just like getting these like weird looks, and people are commenting on my bright
that
red
new girl
high top Converse. Yeah, instantly, because this is how I dressed all the time, or as much as I was
how
able
I still
to.
dress now, except
Right,
my jeans don't have holes in them. They just have holes in the thighs where they rub together.
Okay, here's one. Drank the original Crystal Pepsi.
Okay, so let me tell you about Crystal Pepsi.
I don't have this one.
I remember Crystal Pepsi very fondly.
Why?
Because when it came out, we put it in our super soakers and we sprayed people and they thought it was water, and then they got all sticky later.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's horrible and hilarious.
We could have also done it with 7-Up or Sprite, but like we didn't think about it that way. It was like Crystal Pepsi was special.
This is the only thing that you can do it. So there's a Pepsi factory in Colorado. So I distinctly remember like being at day camp, and like one of our field trips would be going to the Pepsi factory. But I don't remember ever tasting Crystal Pepsi. I think I remember being grossed out by it.
Oh no, we would spray it in our mouths, spray it in the spray it on each other. Oh yeah. Also, SNL did a parody commercial, Crystal Gravy.
It was sick. That's hysterical.
I mean, I guess they used like corn syrup or something, but they were like pouring it all over everything, and like someone dunks a chicken leg in it and takes a big bite. Let's put a link to that in the show notes.
If you find it, I'll do it. You know I will. Okay. Here's one.
Oh, sure.
Used a card catalog. I mean, we are teachers, so our students wouldn't know what that is. No. So when you would go to the library, also something you may not necessarily be familiar with, but you should go to your library because there's free internet there, and you should just
and you can actually use the library after the age of 4. Mm-hmm. It's not just for toddler story time.
Right. I want to go to one that has drag queen story time.
Okay.
A friend of Ariella goes there. She goes to drag queen story time. I just think that'd be really cool. Anyway, so when you were looking for a book, or the book's location, you needed to know the name of the book, or you needed to know the author of the book. You needed to know something about that book so that you could go look it up in what's called a card catalog. And it was like, basically, it kind of looks like a bingo board, but it has drawers that come out of it. And you would like flip through cards looking for the name of the book, and then that card would say, here's the location of the book, and you would like pull the card, walk over to that location, and then get the book that way.
And it was also a way to find out if the library had the book.
Yes.
Right? You could go to the card catalog and see, and if it wasn't there, then they don't have where the sidewalk ends.
Right. They still have.
Also, why is that the first book that came up to me?
I don't know, but I loved that book. I'm sure this happened. I know this happened for me. you got pierced at the mall?
3 times.
I think.
What's up, Claire's?
Right? No, mine was like a big kiosk in the middle of the mall. So you'd walk
Piercing pagoda.
Yup. Piercing pagoda. Yep. I still have those earrings too because they're like gold and they fit really well. So they just, I think I'm wearing them.
And they have little points on the back because they shot them through your ear with a gun.
Which means if you're lying down on them, it hurts.
They poke you in the neck.
Yeah. I think they changed that now because I think the earrings that they pierce you with now have like it looks like kind of a mushroom cap sort of back. So you don't have to lie on them and have it stab your neck, or the back of your head or wherever you got pierced. Yeah. Piercing pagoda. All right. You still got 4? You're still good?
Yes, I have not called for bingo yet.
Okay. You injured yourself with a slip and slide, a pogo ball, a skip it, or moon shoes.
I don't get credit for the injury, but my dad does because he figured out that we liked being thrown down the slip and slide. And so the day after slip and slide, he would not be able to move his back after throwing 3 kids 500 times down the yard.
Oh my gosh. I don't get credit for that either, which is a bummer because that would have given me a bingo. But yeah. But do you remember moon shoes? I don't think I ever actually had moon
I never
shoes.
had them, but I saw the commercials all the time.
Aren't they the ones that are like, they kind of felt like anti-gravity? It was like basically a big platform shoe and you would sink down into them. Like a tiny little trampoline.
Imagine a bucket with bungee cords on top. And you would strap these to your feet and then bounce inside the bucket.
Yeah, so it was like a mini trampoline for 1 foot at a time.
For 1 foot. And you have 2 and you could walk around and bounce.
I really wanted those. Okay, you made juice. Oh my God, I'm picturing my dad doing this. You made juice from frozen concentrate in a can.
5 Alive.
I didn't do it, but my dad did. All the time. I don't even know.
I can hear the wooden spoon hitting the plastic Tupperware pitcher right now. And you know what pitcher it is? It's the one with, and it's the one with the little lid that had a button and you could squeeze it and it would stuck onto the sides.
And it was probably some sort of orange or green.
Or red.
All right. Attended a birthday party at a fast food restaurant. 100% yes, I did this.
Hosted one.
You hosted it?
McDonald's birthday, what's up?
Oh man, yes.
And this is back when they had cakes.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember the cakes. I just remember it was like a thing that you would take your kid to McDonald's and they would go play at the play place so that you could have a moment of peace. Right?
Yeah. That's called a brewery now. It's the same thing.
So, for those of you hipsters, that's called a brewery. Call the 1-900 hotline.
Nope.
I did not do this either, but my husband did as a child. And and his mother I don't know if it was it might have been like a Miss Cleo sort of situation. Yeah. Oh. Like a
Dionne Warwick Psychic Friends Network.
That's what it was. It was Psychic Friends Network. I'm pretty sure she listens. She'll tell me the story. But basically, he and a friend called it and were demanding their fortunes be told or something.
It's $11.99 a minute.
And when she got the charges, she went back to them and she was like, "Absolutely not. I'm not paying for these. You knew they were children. They're giggling and snickering on the background. You know that they're kids.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying for this." And I think she managed to get away with it. Not get away with it.
I have to imagine a lot of people didn't pay for it.
No. Are you kidding me? That's what happens when you leave millennial children at home by themselves. All right. You *69 someone.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. Explain what that is.
Okay, so
my bingo card.
Back when people had phones that were hardwired into their house.
It's called a landline for those of you who don't know.
You would have phones in different parts of the house, but you would not be able to have them anywhere you wanted unless you were one of those rich families that had a cordless.
Right. Those
Okay.
are fancy.
And, also the cordless battery lasted about 17 minutes. So a lot of times it would be, where's the phone? It's dead. I can't find it. So
Right.
the
And
phone
shout out
would
to the person
ring.
who like decided to put a beeper, like a pager on the deck. Like that was brilliant. Good job. You're a genius. Did you have one of those princess phones that was like had a super long cord so your mom can wander around the house while she was on the phone?
Oh, no. I had a super long cord so that I could pull it from the kitchen all the way around behind the kitchen island and talk to my friends and not have everyone listen to the convo.
Right. That's what this. Yeah. You needed the super long, like coiled cord, and then it would get all jacked up because you played with it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
My dad bought extension cords at Radio Shack, which also is defunct. So anyway, the phone would ring and the phone is ringing and you would run and you would miss the call.
Yep.
So if you picked up the phone and you pressed *69, it would immediately call back the person who just called.
Yep.
And it was meant to be able to call whoever you missed.
Yep.
But really what it was for is when you pranked your friends, they could *69 you and figure out who you actually were rather who you were pretending to be.
And you would learn the hard way when you called your crush and hung up. Because they would call you right back, and you're like, "Oh God, nobody answered the phone."
*69 me.
Oh, and I just remember like parents answering the phone with like last names, like Smith residents, and you're like, "No, shut up! You're ruining everything."
Yeah.
Now he's gonna know. Oh gosh. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. All right. You can still imitate the dial-up sound.
I cannot. I don't have that talent. I know what it is, but I don't have that skill.
I mean, if you
I
could
can
pinpoint
hear it in my head.
I think that counts. I think you can give yourself that one, friends. All right. Did you cover your textbooks with paper grocery bags?
Yes. We would actually, at the start of the year, that was like one of the things that you did the first week of school. And I can still fold it for you right now.
Me too. Oh, I was so good at it. Yeah, and I tried to keep it like as clean as I could. And there would be people who would like doodle all over it day one.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, I could.
Oh, mine was mine. No, mine was a mess. And remember when the stretchy like spandex book covers came out?
Yeah,
the school didn't buy those for you. You had to go buy them.
Yeah.
At the grocery store. And I was so jealous because here I am folding my grocery bags.
No,
or the
I
book
wanted
covers that like the
grocery bags.
bank would donate to the school. And it's like got the bank's logo or whatever company is donating it logo.
Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, I never actually wanted those because I figured they didn't seem as durable to me. Like what happens if you like, you know what I mean? I just felt like they were.
Oh, you would still have bent corners
flimsy.
and stuff with those things.
Yeah, but like if you did it right with the
were
paper
so
bags, you could do a good
cool.
job. I disagree.
You could.
I liked the clean look of like all of my textbooks were covered in brown paper, and then I would write on the side what book it was in Sharpie, and then I'd look in my locker, and it would just be like clean with my textbooks. Yeah. Can you tell I prefer modern architecture and stuff now? Because I don't like any extra fluff. Bothers me.
So I would take out the papers that I had shoved into my desk and they would still be in the shape of the desk because I've pushed so hard. And then I would reach back there and grab whatever book was handy and hope it was the right one.
Oh my gosh. This is how you know that my ADHD manifests itself in anxiety, because that just made me so uncomfortable just now, like thinking about all that. Oh my gosh, no thank you.
No, I'm a mess and I have been since I was a kid.
Okay. Sorry. Emotionally, psychologically, physically,
Yes,
all
in
of
every
this.
way
All
that
right,
you can
right,
be.
Right. Okay. You talked to a friend's parent before they got on the phone.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, I have 4 in a row with the 900 number that I'm never going to get a bingo on.
Yeah, I know. I have that one too. But
And I
there's still
had it in a
couple.
corner.
Annoying. Okay, hold on.
All right.
We're still going. Yeah, you'd call up and you'd be like, "Hi, Mr. Smith. Is Jenny there?" Yeah. Marlo or Mavis Beacon taught you typing.
Bing freaking go, baby. Mavis
so
Beacon was my center square.
That's amazing. So,
and I was not strategic about what I put where. I just copied them down.
Yeah.
So Mavis
fine.
Beacon did attempt to teach me typing.
That's interesting. I actually never had a typing class. I think I told you this story.
We talked about this.
Yeah, my schedule was messed up. And so when I was supposed to take the typing class, I didn't get to. And then they never put me back into that class before the end of 6th grade. So I never had it. So I
just
finally
cheated
know typing.
on the test. And they said, oh, wow, you have really great skills. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really fast at typing when I'm looking.
Didn't they like put paper like over your hands so that you wouldn't like look down?
We had that tray.
It was like a tray.
Yeah, there was like a tray that would lay over the, But because I was the good kid, no one came and checked on me during the test. So I just moved the tray and figured no one's ever going to check.
That sounds like me when I was learning my times tables. I was doing my homework by myself. We were self-paced. We could work through the math textbook at whatever pace we wanted, which is not a good idea for someone like me.
Oh, yeah.
And the only explicit instruction that I received or that I recall receiving on times tables was 3 times 5 and 5 times 3. So I knew that one, but I didn't know anything else. And I was using a calculator for the rest of my homework. And I got to 5th grade. And yeah.
And you're like, wait.
And I'm
supposed to know this?
We would do a 4-minute math test, and you would have to do as many. It was like a sheet of. It was probably 100 problems on each sheet. So,
oh my gosh.
Yes, you'd have
no,
like 100.
Those math minutes are so bad.
Yeah, 100 adding, 100 subtracting, 100 multiplication, 100 division, and I could fly through that.
Can I just tell you, like, as an educator, I cannot believe that we put children through that. It's so bad for their self-esteem.
This teacher, though, she knew immediately. Like it was, well, the part that's hard is that you had to say like what you got in front of everyone because she was just taking down your scores.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So you'd be like, I got an A+, F. And like, I don't think she would do that now because, FERPA and all the other stuff. But she like early on was like, hey, yeah, exactly. She goes,
caring about children, social emotional learning.
Mm-hmm. And she's amazing. And she's
psychological safety.
We're friends on Facebook. And actually, weird story, her husband is a law professor and taught my husband in law school. And he was like, that's my favorite teacher. And I was like, wait, say that last name one more time. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, we should go on like a double date and like just go hang out with them because it'd be so cool. But yeah, weird story. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, you should.
I know, but they live in Denver. It's okay. It's okay.
Aren't you going to Colorado?
Yeah, I could reach out. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you should. Maybe not to have a double date, but just reach out and say, hey.
Just say hi. Yeah.
We like you. And we still do.
Very much. Okay, but there's 3 more of these. You want to do them? Just see how many we get?
And I have done all 3 of them. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have? Okay, so you watched The Price is Right when you were homesick from school. Who didn't?
Yes.
Don't we still do that?
That would also be a bingo for me. Of course.
No, not me. You scammed Columbia House or BMG out of free CDs and cassettes. Yeah,
I have not done that. Oh.
That's my bingo.
I used to get those in the mail and I would go through and circle all the ones that I wanted and then not order it.
Oh, okay. So that is the equivalent of going through the book fair magazine, the Scholastic Book Fair magazine that you would get, the 2-pager, and circling all the ones you wanted when they were in front of you. I swear that teachers just gave you that just to entertain you for like 15 minutes, right? Because you'd be like, oh my gosh, look at the new Berenstain Bears is out. And you just like get all excited about that one. Right? And
there's going to be 2 goosebumps in this one.
I know. More scary stories to tell in the dark. So then you'd bring it home and your mom would be like, no. No, I don't think so. But
we'll get the 99-cent joke book.
Right? If you get that, if you're lucky. The other thing that makes me think of is what I do now, which is go through Amazon or some other, giant store. And I'm like, ooh, I love this and this and this and this. I put it all in my cart and then I abandon the cart and walk away.
God.
That's what you're doing.
That is the same thing. Circling the Delia's catalog, going through the Scholastic Book Fair, or putting stuff in your cart.
Delia's. Oh my gosh. Someone sent me a thing like fairly recently that was a bunch of Delia's catalog moments to reminisce over. And I was like, yep, I had that shirt. I had that shirt. Do you remember the tank tops that were like kind of square topped? And then they had like it was not a spaghetti strap. It was like an inch across.
No, it was like it was a little bit wider because spaghetti straps were not allowed at school. And so they figured out to make wider ones so that you could get away with, they could sell them so that people would wear them.
Yep. Dress codes are sexist. Okay. Anyway, last one is, do you fish a toy out of a cereal box with your bare hands?
Absolutely.
Who didn't? Or you did the other thing, which was to pour it all out and then you'd scoop it back up with your bare hands after you got it, which is so gross now that I think about it. No, I also poured it into bowls when I got in trouble.
Okay. But like all of it into one bowl?
Well, like a big bowl, but yeah. Also, do you remember Rice Krispie Treats cereal? Because nobody remembers it, but it was a big deal in our house. And I missed that cereal because it was delicious. All right, how many do you have? I have...
I'm actually going to subtract because it's easier than counting. Yes. I know this is a 25 square board, and I have not crossed out 5. So I have 20.
Oh, you were the winner. I have 18.
I didn't do a 900 number. Nobody collected marble points. I didn't scam Columbia House. I didn't get hurt on a slip and slide. And I did not use collect calling.
Yeah, mine are the 900 number, the Crystal Pepsi. I didn't make the frozen juice concentrate, but my dad did. The typing one, marble points.
Right.
Collect calling to schedule pickups. I didn't use it to schedule pickups.
Right.
And the slip and slide one.
Yes. Do you remember like 10, 10, 3, 2, 1?
Yes. Yes.
Or the MCI commercials or stuff like that. Like these were numbers that you would dial before a long distance number, and you would like get the bill from 10, 10, 3, 2, 1 instead of like from your phone company or whatever.
Yeah, I think they were less expensive than like collect calls too. Like, so you would get a calling card. Yeah. That's the joke on The Office.
Oh, my dad had a calling card. Oh, dude, my dad had a calling card.
Really?
And he had a watch that he could program like 100 different people's phone numbers into. And so he would sit there and like beep his watch, beep, 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 because he's trying to find someone in the W's, beep, 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 and get their number and hold his watch up. And then he would have to dial his calling card number, which of course, like there's a phone number to the calling card company. Then you dial in your 16-digit credit card number for the calling card. Then you dial the number of the person that you want to call. It's like by the end of this, you've dialed like 92 digits.
Oh my gosh.
Heaven help you if you get one wrong.
Ugh. I don't miss those days at all. It's like traveler's checks. Don't miss them.
Oh, yeah. Remember? You had to stand in line and go buy them?
When I worked as a bank teller, it was one of my least favorite tasks to do. Like, I would rather go count everything in the vault. I would rather be the one who's schlepping all of the coins back and forth. I hated traveler's checks. And when people would come in and they'd be like, I'd like to get some traveler's checks. And all of us would just look at each other like, oh. And the best part was there was this guy that I worked with for a long time. He was very good at like the snide smile, like I'm so glad it's not me. And you just look at him and you'd be like, Brett, shut up. Like, just shut up, because I know what you're thinking. Get that smug grin off of your face. I was like, dude, you are the worst. You just wipe that smile off your face. Or the best was when you'd go, I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. And then I'd be like, Brett, come on over and can you help this customer? Thanks. And then I just go take over his position for a little while.
I don't know how to do it.
Don't miss traveler's checks. Don't miss calling cards. Don't miss being tethered to Ethernet cords. I don't miss any of that stuff.
If you love us, like us, subscribe, press all of the stars, write nice things about us on the internet, tell your friends, do the things. And make good choices.
And use your gift cards. Not calling cards, though. Okay, bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast.
Find us at CK and GK Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.